Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nancy and today I'll be sharing with you guys some apps that I was using when I was traveling in Korea and Taiwan. I'll cover those apps that I find specifically are useful in those countries, but then I'll also cover some apps I find useful for travel in general. But before I get into the apps, I want to talk a little bit about my jewelry that I'm wearing today. If you guys can tell, I have these lovely pairs of pearl earrings right here, and I have this gorgeous ring on and this really pretty fine necklace. Actually, these were sent to me by Ana Luisa, so I want to thank them for that. These pieces are super gorgeous. If you guys don't know, I'm trying to reduce on the amount of products that I buy that are fast fashion and that aren't sustainable. At least I'm trying to look into companies that do that. I first heard about this brand actually through Carrie Cake's vlogs. If you guys watch her, she vlogs about Korea and stuff like that. Anyways, I was watching one of her vlogs and I saw these pieces and I was like, oh, it's super gorgeous, and somehow they came into contact with me, which is really nice because I was actually interested in their pieces. If you guys don't know about Ana Luisa, they use like recycled gold in their jewelry, which is really nice because I'm trying to become more like sustainable or aware of what I'm wearing or purchasing. But these ones right here, they are a little gold circle with these pretty freshwater pearls. And right here I picked this little fine necklace. I don't know if you guys can even see that. If you can't tell, I chose everything in gold tone colors. The reason why is because I'm trying to become more like, I don't know, my style, I'm trying to style it more like elegantly and stuff like that, and I think gold tone does actually look kind of nice. I've been into silver like a lot with my jewelry, but I'm trying to expand my like horizons and try gold. So this one right here is like a fine gold with little circles in between. And then I chose this ring. I believe this is a size 6. I think I should have chose a size 5, but if it goes on my ring finger, it's super loose, so I put it on my middle, and it looks really nice. And the detail of this is super gorgeous because it is like a hexagonal or like geometric kind of ring pattern. I specifically chose these pieces because like I like pieces that are more like elegant looking. I don't know, like I think because I'm older now, I don't want to wear like super cute and super flashy stuff all the time. I mean, I do like to dress up once in a while wearing cute and flashy stuff, but I think having these elegant pieces that I could wear like every day or going out is super nice. So yeah, if you guys are interested in looking at Ana Luisa pieces, I can link a coupon down in the description box for you guys. I don't make any money from the link or anything, so if you guys want to just check it out, you can get $10 off if you use Nana10. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the apps right now. I organize my apps through like travel and stuff like that, but I have some random ones tucked away anyways. So this is my travel folder. So I'm gonna talk about apps that you need specifically in Korea and Taiwan first. Not like you need them, but it's nice to have. I personally think so. So this one right here, the first one obviously is Naver Maps if you are in Korea. For Korea, if you don't know, using Google Maps is a travesty. Like, you cannot use Google Maps there. I mean, you can. The problem is with Google Maps, it is not super accurate and up to date because of the restrictions and stuff, because you know the war going on between North and South Korea. Correct me if I'm wrong, but anyway, so this right here is Naver Maps. It is in English, so you don't have to worry about not knowing Korean and stuff like that. It gives you directions. It's exactly like Google Maps, but with more accurate data, and it can give you directions. And basically, if you don't know anywhere in Korea, like you can literally use Naver Maps and you can just like use it like Google Maps and walk around. There's this little button here. If you press it, it will locate your location and then give you your direction as well. So if you're like navigating and it tells you to take a left, you're like, where am I, like which direction am I heading? You have to just press that button and then it will relocate you and then tell you which direction to go. So it's super simple, super easy. It has basically almost everything you need. Like if you are taking the bus or the subway, it gives you options and different routes to take. Personally think you need to download Naver Maps or at least Kakao Maps. If you are in Korea, do not use Google Maps just because it might not be the most up-to-date, and I want you to be safe and get to your destinations. So download Naver Maps if you're going to Korea. The next most important one I would say is subway app in Korea. So there are a couple subway apps. I personally just like the one where it's like the yellow one that just says subway. I personally like this one the most because Alice taught me how to use it when I first went to Korea the first time. So basically what you do, it has a huge map of all the bus stations in Seoul. You can download different ones too if you're going to Busan or other cities. How to use this app is you have to click on a station. For example, let's go to Hapjeon Station. So from Hapjeon Station, if you want to go to Gangnam Station, what you need to do is you just go depart from, and then you have to go find Gangnam Station. And I already know the map of Seoul kind of already. So Gangnam Station is south of the river, so you have to go right here, you scroll, and the Gangnam Station is on the green line as well, so you want to click that and arrive at, and it tells you it will take 37 minutes at 16 stations and that you don't have to transfer. So it tells you there's two tabs. There is fastest, and then there's fewest. If you want to have like a look at different options, then you can click either fastest or fewest. So I'll give you a different example because I feel like that's not a good example. So for example, we'll start at Hapjeon Station again. I'm gonna go and I want to go to Express Bus Terminal instead. I'm gonna click on Express Bus Terminal. I'm gonna say arrive at instead. So it's gonna move the dot over to Express Bus Terminal. 27 minutes, 11 stations, and 1 transfer. And it tells you the price of what it will cost too. I mean, riding trains in Korea is very cheap. So it tells you fastest is this one, but if you want fewest, it's also gonna be around the same. But you can switch and toggle in between. What I like about it is that if you go to detailed info, it tells you what to do. So it tells you from Hapjeon Station what time, then it tells you where to get off at, and then it tells you which one you need to go to, and then if you should take the express one or a regular one and stuff like that. It's really nice. They'll tell you if you want a faster transfer, which car and which door to exit from, which is super nice, especially if you are in like a rush and you really need to get to that destination immediately. Then yeah, it's just a really nice tool. You do kind of have to know a little bit about the areas in Seoul just because it just makes it a little bit easier for you. I don't think that there's a search option, so take a look at this map of the city and all the stations and stuff like that, and figure out where you want to go. And if you don't know, I would just Google where each of these stations are. Like for example, you don't know, I would pre-plan your trips just to take a look. And you can actually, so here if you click on a detailed info and you want to like pre-plan your trip, what you can do is you can click on here the time and just change the time. Number 3, the app for Korea that I would suggest is if you are planning on staying in, or like you have one of those lazy days and you do happen to get a like Korean phone number while you're there, as in if you get like a SIM card, like a temporary one for data and stuff like that, you can get Yogiyo. And Yogiyo is an app where you can order food. Basically it's like Uber Eats and everything, but 10 times better because, oh, there we go. So basically you can pick whatever kind of food you want. There is like 1-person set chicken, there is like Chinese food, sorry. There's pizza and stuff like that, like snack food and desserts and etc, cutlet and whatever that you want. It's really good, but for me, I didn't get to use it. Like I know with Alice, I used it before because she helped me. You do need to know Korean or be able to read Korean with this. You do have to have an address as well. So usually if you are staying at an Airbnb, you can input that address in there, which is super useful to have, because you know those days when you don't want to go out and you just want to eat in and you're just so tired, you don't want to explore anymore. Yogiyo is really good for that. But again, it depends on you. Like some people really like going out to eat, but some people really just want to stay in sometimes or cook. That's just an option. So again, you do have to have a Korean phone number to use this. So I highly recommend, if you are going to Korea, you have an option of getting a Wi-Fi egg or a SIM card. If you plan on like receiving calls in Korea, I highly recommend you get a SIM card. But if you don't plan on getting phone calls at all, then you can just get the regular like Wi-Fi egg or whatever, then that's totally fine. So speaking of Wi-Fi eggs and SIM cards, where I found like my Wi-Fi egg and stuff like that is through Klook. So Klook right here is like a travel kind of app. So it has a whole bunch of packages, like if you want to go to a specific country. So we'll try to go to Taiwan. I will show you right here. So all you need to do is search. We're gonna go Taiwan. So Taiwan, we're gonna go Taipei because I went to Taipei. And so here you can see there is a list of stuff. So it says there are attractions, shows, tourist sightseeing, activities, experiences, transport, and Wi-Fi. So if you want to make sure, like, be like having like, oh my god, I get stressed out, not pre-planning. I'm a pre-planner as well sometimes, so I like to just take a look here. I go to transportation and Wi-Fi, and you can see there are shuttles that you can get, train tickets and stuff like that, as well as Wi-Fi. So if you keep scrolling, there you go. There are stuff you can get from each country will be different, so take a look. Some you do have to pick up from certain airports or from your home countries. So the one I got was like Taiwan airport pickup Wi-Fi. It depends on you. Some will have different prices and different offers. Take a look, but the prices are super cheap, especially in Korea and Taiwan. The having Wi-Fi and everything was really nice, because like it didn't cost you much and there was pretty much coverage everywhere. I know the portable Wi-Fi in Taiwan was amazing. It was super great. It lasted me all day. I thought I needed to recharge it. Now last time I went to Japan with my friends, I had to recharge that portable battery because it kept dying and overheating. But then again, we had 4 people use it at once, whereas I was just using the Wi-Fi by myself. So the one I used in Korea wasn't as good, but I mean, I couldn't have asked. It was really cheap. So yeah, so I highly recommend this. And if you see, there's also attractions and shows, and they're fairly decent prices. And also, if again, it's about like the ease of mind when you go traveling, having everything pre-booked is really, really nice. So I highly recommend checking that out as well. Next one I want to talk about is AirBnb. So AirBnb, obviously, I think if you watch any travel videos of people telling you about apps and stuff to do, I think this is one of the best apps if you want to find affordable housing and stuff like that, or living spaces, depending on the country. So if you're going to countries like Korea and Taiwan or China and stuff like that, I would say Airbnb will be cheaper than living in a hotel. Whereas if you go to Japan or Toronto, those places, honestly, like the hotel and Airbnb prices are almost equivalent. Same with what's it called, Western Europe and versus Eastern Europe. Eastern Europe is a little bit cheaper, but Western Europe, like Paris and like Britain and stuff like that, and Italy, I would say the Airbnbs are almost the same price as the hotels. So I highly recommend doing your comparison, doing your homework before. But I really like the Airbnb app because what you can do is not just book houses and homes and stuff like that. There are options of getting a separate room, like a private room, like kind of like shared spaces, or your own private apartment or house, which I usually like to pick. I like to have that privacy. But there's also experiences and restaurants you can also book through here. So for example, I know some girls like to book like kimchi making classes when they're in Korea. I know certain countries only offer experiences, so take a look to see if the country you're going to will offer experiences. I know there was a perfume making class that I really wanted to go to in Korea, but I didn't have time to. So yeah, I highly recommend checking that out. If you guys haven't already signed up for Airbnb before, I will link my link down below so you guys can get some credit for booking for your first time, and yeah, it helps me out as well. So if you guys want to check that out, I'll link it down below. I'm gonna move on to Taiwanese apps, and this one right here is called FindTaxi. This is optional, especially if you are taking public transit. You might not need this, but depending, like in my situation, I had to take a taxi at like 4 in the morning because public transit was not open yet, so I had to take a taxi to the airport because I had to make my flight in the morning. So FindTaxi is a great app, especially if you live in an area that's not as busy. Thankfully, I lived in a busy area. I technically did not need this app, but I need to pre-book because I need to ease my mind. I pre-booked a taxi like a week before I needed it, and then it gives you like the estimation of what it's actually going to cost and everything, so it's really, really nice and convenient. You can book it to the airport, make a reservation, and you can take a look at the different drivers, and there's like a rating system, kind of like Uber, but it's even more detailed than that. So I highly recommend that. If you live in areas like where I did, I lived in Ximen, so that was like a pop-in area. It's like the Harajuku of Taiwan. You technically don't even need to have this app because you can flag and hail a taxi instantly. It's like there's taxi drivers everywhere. So honestly, having a taxi in Taiwan isn't necessarily cheap. It's not like in Korea where it's super, super cheap, but it's super convenient if you need it, especially if you're in an emergency, you need to get somewhere, or you need to get somewhere quickly. So yeah, I highly recommend taking a look at that app. The only other app you kind of need in Taiwan is the Google Maps app. I didn't even download a train or bus schedule app for Taiwan. I literally only use Google Maps to navigate. It is super convenient, and I think it is like one of the best. Obviously it's Google, so they update things pretty regularly, and again, if you zoom in onto the map, it tells you already all the lines for the subway. Last app I'm going to recommend is Google Translate. If you guys don't already have this app, it's just super useful to have. You can use it offline if you download certain language packs, but obviously most likely most people will have access to internet depending on which city or which country you're going to. So I highly recommend having this. It's just super nice because you can actually take a picture of like certain thing and it will translate it for you. So yeah, I really like that. You can even do handwriting if you can't really take a picture of it, and you can try to figure out, but Chinese is really difficult. I even admit it, and like I'm Chinese, so I highly recommend downloading this app just for simple things. I highly recommend, if you can, to try to learn a little bit of the language while you're there, or before you go there actually. Just simple things like hi, thank you, where is, how much, and stuff like that. So I'll also link a few more other apps I'm not going to talk about because I feel like this video is going to be super, super long, but I'm going to link some other apps down in my description box as well if you guys need some more like travel app ideas and stuff, just to make it a little bit easier. Obviously travel apps aren't going to make or break your trip. I'm just saying, like, having a nice little backup and little help on your phone is nice, but obviously planning your trip before is honestly one of the most fun things to do. So taking a look and googling videos or looking up videos on YouTube, I mean, and looking at like travel guides and stuff like that from other bloggers or vloggers is super, super helpful. That's how I like to plan my trips. Seeing Instagram and looking at travel inspiration is always nice. So yeah, anyways, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down in my comment section down below. And again, if you guys want to take a look at this jewelry right here, I highly recommend it because their jewelry is fairly priced. It's not super, super expensive for what it is. They don't like mark up their jewelry or anything like that. But anyways, you guys can check it out down below. And again, I'll link the coupon or something down below as well if you guys want to check it out. So anyways, I will see you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a good day. Bye!